Today, we're going to be creating again in Adobe Express. To get to Adobe Express, you're going to go to Clever and then click on the Adobe icon. Today, we're going to be learning how to create with animation. We're going to start a new project. We're going to do a custom size. I'm going to do inches. And now we're going to just practice today with text. So the idea here is that this could be something your students could make as part of a project, or this could be the project themselves, but this will teach them the skills of using animation that they could then later apply to other projects. So first, we're going to add our text. I'm going to add my text. I'm just going to do my first name. I'm going to go ahead and create the size I want ultimately, and then I'm just going to duplicate this so that all my letters are the same size. And since I have 4 letters in my first name, I'm going to do 4. And then I'm going to spread them out. And now I can edit to spell my name. And I'm going to do all capital letters. And now I'm going to practice with the animation by picking a different animation style for each letter. So I'm going to click on my first letter, and then I'm going to go to the animation tab. And here there's a few different ways that you can animate the text. You can animate through visibility with fade, flicker, or typewriter effects. This is my favorite way to animate letters, the move section. It offers various ways to move your text. So we have bungee, drift, drop, rise, slide, spin. And as you can see, when you click over it, it gives you examples of what it will do to your text. And then kind of like a roll and drop. It calls it tumble. And then another way you can animate your text is through scale. So this makes it go from smaller to bigger, so it kind of grows. This is like a pop, and this is a shrink. So what I've done here is I've added the text, and I've added a different effect to each letter, so you can see how that turned out. So that's one way you could do this activity. Another way you could do this activity is to create different scenes for each letter, like I did here. The way you add a new scene is click the plus sign, and then you click Add Scene. Once I created my new scene and I added the letter to it, I went to the 3 dots and I clicked Duplicate, and that just adds another scene with the same letter. And then I just went back in and changed it to the next letter. So for example, I started with M, I duplicated M, then I changed the M to an A, then I duplicated the scene again, changed that letter to the next letter R, duplicated the scene again, and changed the letter to Y. So then I had all my letters. You're also still able to edit the letters even further. So here, I'm just going to give it an effect. Let me give the A a different effect. And now I can see how those look. Okay, and as you can see, all my letters right now are in the same spot. So let's say I want the A to be a little bit further than the M, and probably I want the R to be a little bit further than the A, and then the Y, I'm going to want it to be even further. So let's go back and see how that looks. Okay, and I can continue to play around with that if I like, and even make the letters different sizes. There's a lot of ways you can make your letter have a different look. Another thing is I can shorten down on how long it takes between each letter plays. I think I'm going to shorten this to half a second for each letter. And you can see at the top when I click and drag the little handlebars here, you can see the number at the top changes so I can make them all the same. And let's see how that changes it. Okay, so you can continue playing around with the animation, with the various effects, and change your name to look however you like. So in this lesson, we learned how to animate text, how to use different effects on the text. This will give students many new skills when they're using Adobe Express. When they're using Adobe Express.